Do y'all like my little cozy corner? Y'all, I love it, baby. This is so comfy sitting over here. But anyway, hey y'all.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
It's your girl Candice. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the 5 things that I learned in my 20s. I just turned 30 2 months ago, and I was just, thinking over my 20s, reminiscing, meditating, doing all that stuff on my 20s, and I was just like, what have I learned over that decade that I can share with my people, my friends, my crew, you guys. So yeah, I'm here. I'm chilling with you guys, and if you have any lessons that you learned over your 20s that you want to share with us, share with our little community that we got going on here, put it down in the comments below, because your experiences, my experiences, we can help someone else. So let's start with this introduction because I feel like I'm rambling, and let's just get into this video. Oh, and if you see me looking at my phone, I had to write some things down so I won't forget in this old noggin up here, okay? I'm in my 30s now. I'm a grown woman, so I might forget some stuff, okay? But anyway, so one of the first lessons that I learned in my 20s is that it's okay to outgrow your friend. Now, that might sound bad, like, oh, what, you think you better than them now or something? Like, no, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm better than you, you're better than me. It's just outgrowing, in the fact that as you grow up from the time where you're like 19, 20 to when you're 29 going into your 30s, a whole decade has passed. You have experienced things, they're experiencing things. You both are being molded by this world into something different than what you were when you guys first met. And so the values, the morals, all the things that you used to have in common, that might change. And it's not just personality wise that you're going to change, but you will. No one is the same person at 30 that they are when they're 19. You shouldn't be anyway. If you're the same person at 30 that you were when you were 19, something's happened, okay? There's like a block on your growth. You're not growing. Something's wrong, okay? But anyway, it's not even just that. It's just like life is coming at you guys. Like, you're starting careers, you're starting families, you're doing all of these different things, and that just naturally has a way of pulling you away from each other. And so a lot of my friendships personally, like when I was in my early 20s, I don't have any more. And it's not a bad thing. It's not like they did something wrong. It's not like I did something wrong. It's just you grow apart, and you may not necessarily click in the same way that you used to, Like, I had times where now, me and friends from my past, like, we'll try to meet up, we'll hang out or whatever. And yes, I miss them and I still love them and care about them and everything, but it's just not this, like, we're totally different people now, so it's not the same. You get what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. For the most part, most relationships in your life have expiration dates. And trying to force those expired relationships to keep going it's like drinking some expired milk or something. It ain't good for neither one of y'all, okay? Just let it go. Just let it go. No bad blood, and just move on with your life, basically. I used to hear this a lot when I was younger, and now that I've gotten older, like, it really is true. As you get older, the circle of people you hang around, your circle of friends, they're going to get smaller and like more close-knit. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, not every friend you have is just going to drop off. Like, you are still going to have those certain friends where you will grow in the same direction together, and that's beautiful. Hold on to those friendships. You're not going to outgrow every person, but I'm just saying, for the friendships that you do outgrow, it is okay. Don't feel bad for outgrowing them. Don't feel like, oh, I'm a bad friend, or oh, they're a bad friend, they don't even hit me up no more. Like, life just be lifing, okay? Like, that's the only thing I can say. Is just like, honestly, really, life just be lifing, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, second lesson that I learned in my 20s is to pay yourself. And what I mean by paying yourself is saving your money. Money gives you options. Money gives you control. Money gives you freedom. I feel like we live in this, especially now in this society, where it's like, blow a bag, get it right back. But with that mentality, people aren't really saving their money. Like, I forgot what the statistic was. Didn't even have $1,000 in their savings account. And I'm not saying, because times are hard. It's expensive to live right now. But if you can, instead of maybe going to the club, instead of maybe buying those new shoes, pay yourself. Put the money into your savings account. What I would do is, you know how you can have direct deposit at your job, right? Even when I was making like the smallest amount of money, I would automatically put a certain amount of my paycheck into my savings. So I wouldn't even see it. Like, it wouldn't even go into my bank account. It would automatically go into my savings account. Even if you could just do $20 a paycheck, that's something. It'll add up. But you need to pay yourself first before you pay anybody else. Okay? Because I can't tell you how many times having a cushion, having a savings account has saved my behind. The next lesson I learned is comparison really is the thief of joy. You guys, when I was in my early 20s, oh my goodness, I would compare myself to everyone around me. Oh, they just graduated college. Oh, they just got their dream job. Oh, she just got married. Oh, they just bought a house. Or she just got this great car. Like, I would compare myself because I just felt so far behind from everyone around me. And even if it wasn't an actual person in my, immediate life or whatever, social media will have you thinking that you are so far behind when you are not. We have to get rid of these timelines that we set for ourselves. I want to graduate by this age, get my job by this age, be making this much by this age, get married, have kids, all that stuff, because majority of the time it does not work that way. Some people will find their career passion at 17 or 18, 19, 20, and as soon as they graduate, they just go. And other people will go through 15, 16, 17 jobs before they figure out what they want to do. Some people will meet the love of their life at 21, get married, have kids, and be happy. Other people might not get married until they're 35. The thing is that we have to embrace our own individual timelines, and that took me a while to accept. And the crazy thing is that I didn't even notice I stopped comparing my life until just now, just me thinking back over my 20s. I can't tell you the last time I compared myself to someone else. Oh, they're doing this at this age. Why am I not? It's not even like that. I'm not comparing myself to no one else. It's more like a personal, oh, this is a goal I have for myself. What do I have to do to get there? But it's not me looking at someone else. You get what I'm saying? I got my blinders on like the horses. I'm not looking left or right. I'm just got my head down and I'm working, okay? I'm not looking at nobody else. And I think that's just something that happens when you get older. So the next lesson I have is that for the most part, it all works out. I say for the most part because yes, there are things that no matter how bad we want them, no matter how bad we want to answer, we'll just never get it. But I will say, at least for me, 90% of the things that I freaked out about, that I cried about, that I was depressed about, that I was stressed about, it has worked out. Now, it may not have worked out in the way that I wanted it to. It could have been a totally different, blindsided way. It probably took longer than what I wanted, or it turned out better than what I wanted. And I try to remember that now because, like I said, if I could go back in time and go to my younger self and be like, girl, you worried about this, but look, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in this year. Y'all know you want it to happen right now. It's gonna take a few years, but it's gonna happen and you ain't got nothing to worry about. I wish I could just go back and tell my younger self, my early 20s self, the self that was on the floor crying and just distraught. I just wish I could go back and tell her, girl, it is all going to be all right. It's all going to work out, because it truly does. One of the issues that I had, and I feel like maybe a lot of us do, is that we want an answer right now, real quick, like that microwave chick. If you've seen Holiday Heart, you know what I'm talking about when they say you one of them microwave chicks.
She one of them microwave bitches. She want everything quick.
We are the microwave generation. I want an answer now. I don't want to wait. Whatever tribulation I'm going through right now needs to go ahead and pass me. I ain't trying to be in this thing for years. That's what we want, but that's just not life. One of my favorite quotes come from one of my favorite books, which is Their Eyes Were Watching God. And it is a quote from Zora Neale Hurston that says, there are years that ask questions and there are years that answers. And as you go through life, as you live, you really see that quote come through. I had a time in my life where I was just like, what is going to happen? When is this going to happen? Why is this not happening? And I literally did not get the answer to some of those questions until 7 years later. I counted. It took 7 years for me to get an answer to a question I had way back then, when I was pouring my heart out to God, crying oh my God, just freaking out. I got the answer. It just took 7 years for me to get it. And I know that myself back then would have been like, oh, but I want it now. But me, looking back at my past, I'm like, I wouldn't have had it any other way. Like, I needed to learn those lessons. I needed that time to grow in between. I said out of 190% of what I have asked, 90% of the things I have freaked out about, all that stuff, has all worked out. Okay, y'all, so my camera just shut off, so I don't know where I left off at, and I really can't remember what I was saying, so I'm just go ahead and go to the next point, okay? Because I'm trying to go ahead and get this over with though, like, honestly. So the very last lesson that I have for you guys is to enjoy the moment and stop looking to the future. So I don't know about you guys, but especially when I was younger, I used to always have this I can't wait mentality. Like, oh, I can't wait until this happens. Oh, I can't wait until that happens. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like, I was never just enjoying the moment, enjoying the season that I was in. I was always looking to the future, waiting for the next thing to happen. And the crazy thing is that once I finally got there to wherever there was, wherever that goal was that I wanted, I would find myself looking to my past, reminiscing and like missing those moments, missing the past. And it's this clip in the TV show The Office, one of my favorite TV shows. And if I can find the clip, I'll insert it.
The weird thing is, now I'm exactly where I want to be. I got my dream job at Cornell. And I'm still just thinking about my old pals. Only now they're the ones I made here. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
When I watched that for the first time and he said that, I was like, it really struck me because it's so true. Because when you're in those days, they don't feel like the good old days. Like, you always look to the future. It doesn't feel like it just doesn't feel like you're in those good old days. But once you get to where you want to be, you find yourself reminiscing like, oh, those were the good old days. Remember when we did this? Remember, but it doesn't feel like that then. And like you said, like, I wish in some of those moments, like certain years, even when things were bad, I still find myself reminiscing about them because it's just like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but it's just like a moment in time that you miss. Like, even though maybe like your main situation is bad, it might be the people that you're with were great. The people that you're with made it easier, made it better. The kind of vibe that you was just on, like, I don't know, you just find yourself reminiscing. I was like, and you just like, oh, those were the good old days. But it doesn't feel like the good old days when you're in them. But once you leave them, you're just looking back and just like, I kind of miss it. Like, I kind of miss it. Even like with my job, like, I was working at a grocery store called Harvey's. And I was be so ready to leave. I can't wait till I get my next job. I can't wait. But even like now, sometimes I would reminisce. Like, I look at old pictures and I would be like, I really had so much fun at that job. All my friends, my co-workers, like, I had so much fun at that job. But when I was at that job, only thing I could think about was leaving. Like, oh, I can't wait to leave. I'm so ready to get out of there. And now that I've left, I just think about all the fun times I had. Then I'm like, yeah, those were some good times there. I low-key miss them. So I wish I could just like play it back just once, like, it's just certain stuff like that, or some stuff in your life where you're just like, man, like those really were the good old days. And I wish I would have appreciated it more instead of just always looking to the next thing, like, oh, what's next. And so I try to remember that now. Like, even now, there are things that I want, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait until it happens. But it's just like, Candice, just sit down and enjoy this moment. Enjoy it, because, girl, you're going to miss this moment that you're in. You're going to miss it. You're going to reminisce and like, oh, I remember when I was sitting in my cozy corner recording my YouTube video at my apartment with my husband sleeping on the couch, and those were the good old days. Like, it doesn't feel like a good old day right now. It's just like a regular day, but in the future, it might mean something to me, So that's why I say, enjoy the moment right now. Be present. Now, I'm not saying not have goals. You can look to the future and have goals and, have these things that you're looking towards to, because that's what keeps you going. Now, I'm not saying be stagnant, but what I am saying is just enjoy the moment that you're in right now. Don't take it for granted. And just try to cherish it as much as you can, because time goes by fast, you guys. Like I said before, life is lifing. Time is timing. And everything is just going by so fast, and before you know it, in a blink of an eye, 5 years pass, 10 years pass, and you're just like, what the world? And I feel like that now, and I'm just 30. I can't imagine what I'm gonna be like when I'm 35, 40, 45, and I'm just looking back at my life like, wow, it just seemed like yesterday. when I was a newlywed and just moved to Florida, and now like I know it's gonna happen because it's happening now that I'm 30. I'm looking back at my 20s. I'm like, just a few years ago I was doing this and I was doing that. And life comes at you fast, guys. It does. So enjoy the moment that you're in now. Try your best to just cherish it. But anyway, guys, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I was literally racking my head just thinking back over these past 10 years of like, these are like, what did I learn? What are some lessons that I can share to help other people? Like, what did I really learn over these past 10 years that I can share with you guys? And that's what I came up with. So I hope you guys found it helpful, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.